Totally live? Totally live. It's totally live. It's right now. It's happening now. I am Billy at the _swan_man for the One Stop Geek Shop podcast. Top 5 black sheep toy lines. Dave was complaining about something that he made up, so I don't know what he's going on about.
It was a totally real toy line. I didn't do the homework. I'm sorry.
So he has one that he will repeat 4 times. 5 times? We'll see if we get any tweet responses. I threw the question out there, and like so many DMs, they go unanswered. But you never know. I mean, you know, it's the season for giving and miracles. It's almost the holidays in this here pandemic reality. So that's our top 5. I called it Black Sheep. It's toy lines that like no one really cared for. At least the mainstream didn't, right? So it got like one release. Maybe 1 wave, 1.5 waves, but nobody's making like...
Wave and disappeared. Not enough love.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion. So let me get the old Foster's out for the showski. It's been you know, a long week. He's talking about G-Con coming this Friday. We're recording on the 10th of November. There it is. Yeah. So then the upcoming Friday, the 13th, right? Is G-Con. I don't know what that is, but I'm okay. Because I have to cover my part of Ringside Fest, which was a previous con.
It's Mythic Legions.
Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and pick your favorite. I mean, I've got Sid Vicious. Terrible Horseman. No Steve Mongo McMichael there. Let's see what I got.
His music was alright.
This has just gone tits up from start. And so we start with the hunt. Where you last heard us, or you didn't hear us at all. The hunt is what we were finding, what we purchased, what we spent good hard-earned money on and just pissed it down the drain for plastic trash to poison the atmosphere and ourselves. So, do you want to go? Who had a bigger week? I got decent, actually.
Well, actually, no, I've had a fairly decent week.
Well, age before beauty. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for that. Well, I mean, I got my... Where'd he go? The Venom Pool wave in. Ordered that. Got that in. That's a sweet set of figures.
Sweet. That has the Tom Hardy Venom, right?
Technically, he's not part of the wave. I mean, I think he is, but he doesn't have a Build-A-Figure part. He's not featured on the back with the rest of them.
I wish...
Morbius, Carnage, Phage, Miles Morales, all symbioted. And
Neat.
Ghost Spider, which is, well, Gwenom.
That's just a lot, man. That's like
Gwen
a lot.
Spider with a symbiote, yeah. There's a lot going on there. Actually, the best figure of that wave, too.
Symbiote.
But as I showed on the Twitter account earlier today, I also added some paint details on both him and Toxin. It's like minor paint details missing on Venom Pool, just his claws and some strip of whatever down the middle of his back. But Toxin had a bunch of chompy mouths on his back spaghetti.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not a bit of them were painted. It looked really weird. Like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes sticking off his back. It's all red.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw the figure, because I have no idea what this is. You've been working on the character Toxin and figures of Toxin since we first met, so too long.
I love the character, and they have yet to actually do an action figure, an accurate action figure of the version of Toxin I liked, which was the Patrick Mulligan, the very first version of Toxin. He's all like Carnage skinny, but
skinny fat, got it.
And then they killed the character off panel, so we'll probably never actually see that version as a toy.
I mean, I don't know who the hell this is anyway, so it's all good. It's all good!
It's fine. Most people wouldn't remember anyway.
Make the custom America wants. It's movie Venom, but you gotta stick googly eyes on his Venom head.
Yes! Oh my god, now I have to get one of those.
No bland Tom Hardy heads here. Foster's. We gotta wait a decade before we get, like, movie accurate head sculpts. So, for Venom or anybody else. So, look forward to 2032 when we'll get Woody Harrelson and Tom Hardy heads. In hologram form, it's the next natural wave. What else did you get? You got Venom. Wave. Jesus.
God, there was something else. Actually, I picked up something discount at Ross, and I can't remember what it was now. Yeah.
It's Ross, it's more than farted in trousers.
It's really not, but it's also toy lines that sat on the shelves in other regions of the U.S.
Irregular shoestrings. Like the toy lines we'll bring up today, I'm sure made their rounds in the discount bins of America. Or not, I don't know. You know. You be the judge. The audience be the judge. But so what'd you find at Ross? I'm a TJ Maxx. I'm a Maxxinista. I don't fuck with
They're
Ross.
Basically the same store.
Quiet. Don't ruin a good thing for me.
I mean, other than some just discounted Mega Bloks.
Trash. Got it.
Halo minifigures. Yeah. There was something else, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was or where the hell I put it.
Wow. Outstanding stuff. I gotta say, have you seen speaking of Mega Bloks, have you seen the Predator with Dutch that's like in thermoscan with like the translucent gun accessory and like the palm tree?
Not in stores. I'm still hunting it.
That thing's rad. Is that new?
That is new.
I was hoping it was new because it's like I haven't seen that.
It should be on shelf. It should be on pegs now.
Well, fuck, man. What is on pegs that should be
exclusive to availability? Obviously.
Yeah, no, I'll get into that. But my hunt.
Fortnite.
Oh.
It was a McFarlane Fortnite figure.
Just one.
Just one. I don't know what the hell his name is. He looked cool.
Hot dog guy.
That's not the hot dog. He looks like a robot ninja.
What thing. The hot dog guy?
That's
Is that Jazzwares?
No, that's like Jax.
Jazzwares, the superior.
Jazzwares, right?
Hell yeah!
It all just melts together.
Well, if you heat it up right, which apparently you are. Dave's burning to death as we speak. His temperature-controlled apartment is temperature-controlled through November, and that means he's melting like a candle.
Well, who would have expected it to be 80-degree weather?
It's Kentucky.
November?
It's Kentucky. It's called Indian Summer, dude. That is not unexpected. It's for 3 days, and then we'll be in hell. Ice storm hell. And that's Kentucky.
You say hell, I say winter wonderland.
Yeah. Your commute is poor. Take your bike out on the ice sheets. Do it.
My commute is poor. I went trudged through blizzards in the past.
I need mocha lotion, not just I need like advanced motion. But a majority of my hunts, except for one surprise I was just hip to overnight, and it's the best damn thing that happened. Well, it's been a decent week, so we'll just keep it at that. But I got as seen on YouTube, with many unboxings, very, very robust content. We made it to 10 people. We have Io Shirai at Target. Very cool sculpt. I do not know her career that well, so it was kind of sad on the video. But nonetheless, she's very bandied about as being a figure of the year in terms of WWE Mattel Elites. And I guess, I mean, she's just really accurate, and that's awesome. But I bought her because she's, always got to pad the female fig fed. But also, I had the 25% off coupon at Target, and nerds, scalpers want her, so I had to have her. To open! For all of you to see! And I did. So, I opened her up pretty good. Really cool figure. Very toyetic, good head scan. Is she as good as Kairi Sane from last year with the pirate getup? I don't know. I think those details on Kairi Sane are still a little bit better, but that seems to be their passion, is Asian women in NXT will always get preference in that line. So, whatever. Speaking of preference, I got Walter, a Ringside exclusive action figure, the first in the line, Walter, the Austrian anomaly, bad motherfucker, fresh off of a hot NXT win against Ilya Dragunov. Hard-hitting, stiff dude. Love him. Big son of a bitch.
Featured in an unboxing video by you, no less.
Yeah, he's coming up this year. And his eye was a little wonky, as posted on the Twitter, at OSGSPod. But it was the kind of wonky that I thought was passable. I tagged Ringside and everybody else. And the consent, I was pleased with it. I've had funky true effects before, and it wasn't a deal breaker. I mean, only if you really know and then, press it on this one. Because he has his head is oddly shaped anyway, and on top of the haircut, So, I decided to keep him. Walter lives another day in the collection. So, great figure. His back carding, if you didn't see the video, you should like, share, and subscribe, monsters. But the back of carding of his box has an insert, which Mattel has been doing a lot lately, especially with collector-oriented figures, and that is like a backdrop. So it has his backdrop, animation from his entrance there. So if you really want to get in fig photography on it and put it in the background, it has a fake little entrance in the background with the full Walter, entrance stuff. And that's pretty cool. Alternate hands, so you can slap all your jabronis in the ring. A stoic pose, excellent cloth robe, very cool figure. So, worth it.
Really good point in the video, actually, when you were talking about how they need to include backdrops for the entrance stages.
Yeah, I think that's a layup.
It's a no-brainer. I can't imagine why they wouldn't do that or haven't done that before this point.
Well, they did the Rob Schamberger waste of time. The art was great, but they came with these little stands that I never used. And the stands were clunky and kind of weird, and they just sort of, I had hundreds of these stands, and I don't know what to do with them, and I threw them in the trash. Threw them right in the trash, along with some of the art, because, it's such a slender little thing, because the idea was to connect all of them, but some of those waves aren't worth owning every single one, because that's not how I personally do, so you're just left with, some good art pieces, but other pieces are meh, and they're so slender and strange, it's I can't frame these. I don't want to frame these. I think alternate hands and heads are great. I think if they're going to go the carding route, they do have literally 2 entrance stages released by Mattel, so nerds that saw the Comic-Con one want the full real-scale entrance stage. Entrance stages are tiny, and get your shit together and buy those 2 old ones. I already have them. I don't... You fools have careers and shit. I'm just playing it by ear, and I've got these 2 entrance stages. Love of the game, boys. Love of the game. I got that shit from years ago, so you can slide those in there with a little gumption if you'd like. But the Reckon stage is king right now, so that's modern. But I'm just saying, it's not outside the realm of possibility to just have the clear plastic and slide in the insert from the figure, if you trim it down. Just a little. But, why don't they just do that? It's the easiest graphic thing to do. They're about a year late every time, but... whatever. Some are universal, so it's fine.
The characters' outfits are going to be about a year late, too, so it doesn't matter. It isn't about timing accuracy, it's about the legacy.
Yeah, if their look isn't enduring, then they're probably going to get a second crack at it anyway. Don't bring up the Bludgeon Brothers, they're trash! But yeah, we'll see where the future takes Mattel, who's in their last year, maybe? Probably not. Of having the license, but who knows?
Surprising with Mattel, though.
I don't know if Hasbro would... I'm sure they do a good job, but I don't think they'd take over the license. I'd hope not. I don't know. We'll see. It's technically 2021, it's the whole Millennium thing. They started in 2010. It ends in 2021. And I haven't heard any rumors, pandemic or otherwise, that they're going to be bought out or taken over by someone else. And I don't think they should, but who knows? I would probably hate Hasbro making them again until I didn't. So there it is. Show me those prototypes.
Last time Hasbro even made them.
1990 to 94? Right? The big chunky ones. The big, the Springers and the... Oh, you opened a can of worms, Dave. The wrestling figure community, these are beloved, hard plastic, rigid little shiny boys. Some people think they should go back to it, and, they had those retro figures that they released not so long ago that, I got a collection of from Ollie's. Thanks, Ollie's. But, I mean, they're cool. But I'm not going to pay, like, collector's prices for them either. Ollie's spoiled me, 1, and 2, they're just kind of tchotchkes for me that I kept at, like, my air quotes office and shit. Because I like wrestling, and I could afford to, if they disappeared, no bigs. The only collector's price I paid for on a Hasbro was the Doink the Clown, but that's because I was a wrestle clown and I needed it, so it'd be that way. The third guy was Radu, which Dave picked up at the infamous Toy Headquarters, aka Toy Vomit, which will be having a signing, over the weekend soon with other podcast people, and I will be in attendance. But yeah, Toy
I might
HQ.
be there as well, just for the hell of it.
Well, you gotta buy a ticket, fool. You gotta buy a ticket!
Oh, then I won't be there.
Yeah, there it is. But Radu! So, I see that they bought a lot as the video, the unboxing, if you haven't seen it, for Radu. The story goes, I saw that someone bought a collection and there was a Radu mint on card. And I was like, I love that Radu! How much is that Radu? And then Dave was flummoxed for a minute. And it was funny!
Not just me, but Corey, who also works at the store, we were both hunting through the wrestlers because we had no idea who the hell Billy was talking about.
I do tend to buy wrestlers.
There is a theme with your purchases.
I mean, strangely not from Toy HQ as much, but that's kind of because, as far as...
What they have.
I kind of already did it. Yeah. There's a few things that if they got, I would have to get, but those are also probably going to be extraordinarily expensive on either side of the coin, so... But yeah, Radu! Righteous, which has now put me into a whole full moon kick, right? Because I posted the picture of a Jack Death prototype that was released in a toy fair, I swear to God, and was on a full moon, like, order form once for pre-order back in the, 99.
You never said whether or not they produced him.
I don't think they did. But that physical version exists in 2 colors, obviously. There's one in a black coat, there's one spotted in a brown coat. They're 12 inches, not great, but they were supposed to be released. I remember seeing the Toy Fair article at some, New York toy convention or some such that happened back in the old days. And it's like, man, I can't wait for that, because I already ordered all these Puppet Master figures. And then, shit went south.
Well, not great just means it's on par with the movies, so it's accurate.
Shame on you. But that's a sweet transition. Speaking of full moon, I'm going to segue all the way into our other segment. What's next? Things that are on the horizon. And the thing that's on the horizon that's full moon, Puppet Master. NECA announced Puppet Master figures in their NECA style with their NECA goodness. 4 of them, just like the original Full Moon toys, released in pairs. You have Pinhead, Torch, Blade, and Tunneler. The first 4 are the first 4 again, but this time made by NECA. So now I gotta wonder if they're gonna release them... Like, they're obviously 6-inch scale. Are they gonna come in some sort of ultimate box, 2 per case? I'm excited. I'm real excited. I'm going to have to pay, what, like $50?
If it's 2 2-packs, yeah, I'd be with that.
Fuck it, I'm in.
50 apiece.
On to Tim Thomerson make a Trancers NECA, but these figures look really...
Look, if they've actually got a Full Moon license, you could be seeing a Tim Thomerson. It could be Trancers, it could be Dollman. Dollman seems more fitting.
Yeah, because then it could fit the Demonic Toys line. You got Trancers, you got your Dollman, Brick Bardo. Yes, I'm into it. Because then you could get some actual, like, Demonic Toys were kind of made, I think, by the Full Moon Toy Company. They focused really hard on Puppet Master and then Retro Puppet Master, ew. And then they sort of petered out, but... No, I'd die. I wouldn't, I wouldn't be safe if NECA made all those. The accessories are from the first film, by and large, but also the second film. You have Pinhead with the strangulation rope alternate hands, I believe. And he also comes with the little, like, beaker of the green brain goo that is used in Puppet Master 2. No spoilers. Blade has an alternate head.
25 to 30-year-old movie.
That's right.
Spoilers.
Well, someone might just slip it in their VCR at any minute.
Dust off that VCR. Clean the heads first.
Come on, it's got boobs in it, and people get murdered. What more do you want? I know I shouldn't have to drag people to the lake of good taste that is Full Moon in the early 90s, but I fucking will. But there's something else in your bailiwick. We got the Full Moon. They come with excellent accessories. It's going to be like Ultimate Edition NECA stuff, and I'm hyped, because Full Moon rarely gets that level of love, and I think NECA is, like... I'm doing a hand motion with my thumb and forefinger that NECA is just a little too good for this license. But I'm here for it. Let's get it. Spider-Man had a thing. I don't know what it was. It was J. Jonah Jameson is announced on the traditional card back.
J. Jonah Jameson was announced. Honestly, I like the colors on my custom better. The only thing he's got that I don't have is that unfurled newspaper with the Spider-Man Classics Spider-Man photoshopped onto the cover. I thought that was clever. I
mean, I'm here for it. I thought that was a kick in the teeth, because you just...
the exact same parts that I used, so...
I was going to say, it's like, you just finished that custom earlier this year?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a kick in the junk for you. Just a little.
Not at all. My custom costs less than it'll cost to buy that.
What's the MSRP on that?
It's 20. But the body, I already had the J. Jonah head, and the body I used was... What was it, a Black Panther claw?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and, I mean, that's going for, like, half price MSRP.
Is it anymore? The pandemic has killed the toy industry. In a good shrug way.
It's done something to the toy industry. I don't know if it's killed it or mutated it.
Outstanding. Oh, I didn't... Yeah, it's fine. AEW 3 was announced before we get into the monster that is the WWE Ringside Fest, hosted by Keith Lee and Liv Morgan. I didn't watch it, but I certainly hewn all of my favorite parts of it, because everything else is a bunch of jobber assholes. But AEW 3 was announced in the appropriate order, which will feature another pair of the Young Bucks, probably not in Elvis gear, and potentially with the Tag Team Championships. Please do it. Please! Darby Allin, who also is a Chase variant potential, which I'm all about. Orange Cassidy, outstanding. Riho. So, tiny Japanese woman. Jazzware's also updated their distribution facts, and that it's going to be a long road to hoe, and that Jeremy Padower basically brought up that they're going to have to switch distribution centers and this and that to ensure a better quality of response and just general, flow. So after Wave 2 and the beginning of Wave 3, it should be smoother with a output higher than what it is right now, and that it might not be limited to Walmart after Wave 3, which would be really cool, because fuck, man, Walmart suck! And that led to a lot of people ending up with, their pre-orders on Wave 2 of AEW being canceled, or not canceled, delayed. We're not Walmart or Target. Ringside doesn't cancel, they just push it back. You rat bastards. So Wave 2 was delayed because they're going to have to, change their game up a bit in this new normal. However, Billy is getting his AEW Wave 2 very soon. Big unboxing content coming your way. I'm hyped for that. One good thing, keeps pinching off for me one at a time. You got any toy news before I dive into Ringside Fest and its nightmarish contents?
Nothing particularly significant. Hasbro's shown off their Din Djarin's helmet from The Mandalorian. $120. I love the detailed inside.
Yeah.
I have no use for it whatsoever, but it looks cool.
Well, everything we're talking about is superfluous. Come on. But it's fun. You get to breathe the same air that Din Djarin does. So, get it on.
I really think more likely you're going to be breathing the same air a product tester did when they put it on their head.
I don't like that. Reminds me of the Simpsons, where they have the Asian flu that just gets coughed into a box and sent on.
Exactly.
Well, there it is. Great stuff.
HasLab announced that the Razor Crest has surpassed, it's gotten the most donations of any of their projects so far.
I'm not paying $350 for a 3 3/4 spaceship.
I'll be honest with you, that I just want to play with it. That's what it comes down to. I would like to have it set in front of me, let me play with it for like an hour, and then I'm good. I don't want to spend that kind of money either, but I want to physically handle it for a little while.
There's a word for that, but maybe not in toys. What is the over-under that people, like, bought it and then are just going to keep it mint? Even though it has all these, like, extra goodies, like the Carbonite guys and the Jawa and the super rad Mandalorian character and the child and all this other extra shit. Like, what are the odds that people are just going to keep it and be like, yes, and now it's all sealed in front of me. Look at it.
I feel like those are the same people that plan on banking on it in the future. In the same way that you've got the late night infomercials for gold bullion, they're just gonna put it in a nice, quiet, climate controlled area of their home, and then 20 years down the line, bring it out and try and cash in.
Still worth $400 because it's like Power of the Force. The shit's everywhere. Maybe not, but there it is. Ringside Fest was hosted by Keith Lee and Liv Morgan, featured all plethora, basically them, Mattel, laying out the future for the next, 2 quarters. And then some. But, get excited, collectors, because shit's happening. Highlights that I have. The Ultimate Edition Stone Cold Steve Austin with 3 different heads, including the smirking one, the angry one, and then the, just stoic one. He includes alternate hands, including pointer finger.
It's the full range of Austin right there, actually.
Yeah, no, it works, because
there's nothing else.
It's got his heel, happy face. It literally makes that gif where he's laughing and then is stoic. Delightful. He comes with his, silver decorated vest, but he does come with the pointer finger hands, which I find confusing, because he's gonna point, but we all want the middle finger. And someone, was like, dude, but seriously, you can't have a middle finger in a children's collectible. It's like, this is not a children's collectible. That's my argument.
It is sold in mainstream stores.
Is it? It's online. It's in boxed packaging. It's not that far from the NECA boxes that are, covered. I'm saying, do kids remember Stone Cold Steve Austin? Shit. His last match was in what? It's 2000 and, 2003? 4?
I don't know, as often as you used to talk about him at Toys R Us, I thought he was still wrestling.
No, you just show up and I'll raise hell, and then he'd, do a promo, stun the former president, and then leave. And then do it again. But I mean, I'm buying this one just because the articulation looks good, the heads are fun, and yeah, I have a Steve Austin that represents this time period, except that he has the Mattel tiny waist crotch ball joint that I always check on my unboxings problem, where he has the mushroom plug going into his hips, so he can't, land on his ass for the stunner or anything.
Right.
He doesn't have the barbell. It's all shitty. So ideally, with the Ultimate Edition, he will have a proper, loosey-goosey barbell that won't, burst when I move his leg. And that'll be good. That'll sunset that pretty nicely. Ric Flair is in purple, much like WCW. I think they make too many Ric Flair figures, but it'll be fine. He'll have the cloth robe and supposedly, mimic the Charlotte Flair figure that just popped out. That just popped out by Ringside Collectibles. And yeah, it'll be a solid Ric Flair, but we've had a lot of... They haven't made bad Ric Flairs. Except Basics. Basics are trash. But I mean, get excited for this $40 Ric Flair if you want to. It's just, I have literally every era of Ric Flair, and half of those are by happenstance, where it's I needed the battle pack for the other guy. But that's me. What do I know? I don't collect wrestling at all. They announced Royal Rumble exclusive to Target, so we'll never find it, featuring Umaga, the Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin again, as a heel, Titus O'Neil in the Greatest Royal Rumble outfit. And my notes on that are, it's another Umaga. I didn't get the first Umaga. He's rare. He has a legacy, so I'm into it. It's a basic Ultimate Warrior. I'll pass on that, although he does come with the alternate head that every Ultimate Warrior should in these days, with the worn-down makeup, which is one of the perks of watching the Warrior. Stone Cold Steve Austin as a heel has the 2 knee braces, count them 2, and the brassy vest, where the details are more brassy and more nice. And, basic Steve Austin head, but that's a good look for Invasion-era Stone Cold. So it's good to have at least the alternate vest, because I don't remember what the Ultimate Edition will say, but they're all basically the same mold. And it'll be nice to have a few extra Steve Austin vests. So hell yeah, I'm here for heel Austin at Royal Rumble at Target, which I'll never find, and God forbid I pre-order it, because then I'm fucked. Titus O'Neil, representing, it's an older figure, so Titus O'Neil was supposed to come out in like NXT Wave 4 with Rusev in the towel, post-Rusev in the towel, and never did, so they just sat on it until they could put this shirt on it, immortalizing his match after the Greatest Royal Rumble, where he literally did an entrance, tripped, and fell and slid underneath the ring, which is a great gif, but Saudi Arabia. So, now.
I have never seen this, and now I must.
Yeah, no, it's internet. We have it. Michael Hayes is going to be the Walmart exclusive, with the Ray-Ban sunglasses, the blades, the wraparound doot shades. I'm bummed it's not Doc Hendricks, because I'm not old and don't like Confederate wrestlers. But fuck 'em. It's coming out. Can't wait for the Freebirds, or maybe I can. Best known to you other nerds that are listening for Transformers news we didn't get, as the guy that's in the opening of Highlander. Because Connor McLeod's watching a wrestling match. In the opening of Highlander. And good on him for it. Exclusive to Walmart. Michael Hayes. Young Michael Hayes. Boo. Dave died. What'd you do, Dave?
I said no, that was a really deep cut.
It's the opening of Highlander. If you haven't seen Highlander, what the... Images of Roddy Piper and Mr. T, the 2-pack, Elite 2-pack, were released. If you haven't seen the images that aren't proto-images, and they look fan-fucking-tastic, and that is a must for Billy Boy. I just need... I've said it before. I'm saying it again. I need late 90s, mid-40s Roddy Piper. Please! Do this for me!
I mean, other than his face, what would be different in outfit-wise?
Nothing.
Piper's always worn the t-shirt and the kilt.
Well, yeah, but it's a different t-shirt. Depending on where he is. Different hairstyle, different, athletic physique, different head. Totally different head. Speaking of different head that's not different at all, the Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 12 is a reality! Ringside Collectibles will have the exclusive rights to a version of the Ultimate Warrior, finally, Elite style, not Ultimate, in the WrestleMania 12 getup, where he came back to destroy Hunter Hearst Helmsley in 90 seconds. Downside, his hair isn't flat-ironed enough for me, but it is the deco, so I'm getting it. But he needs flat-ironed highlight hair. It was a little flatter than the curls that I saw, but who knows. I'm still gonna love it, I'm gonna order it. It's gonna be mine. Got a big shelf full of them, so... gotta have it! WWE Eternia had Macho Man Randy Savage and NWO Black and White for some goddamn reason. Roddy Piper, hell yeah. Becky Lynch and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who is never over with me, but makes sense in this example, because he will have a dragon. And it's Eternia. I think Becky is like a Tila? I don't know. Snake, she has a snake staff. Roddy Piper has a modesty pouch over his wang. So, good shit with that. Ultimate Edition Fiend and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Final prototypes were released at Ringside Fest. Yes. I'm so glad I pre-ordered at Ringside, hint hint, my NWO Black and White Hollywood Hulk Hogan, finally by Mattel. It's come a long way, but he had to say the N-word, he couldn't help it, and now he's not cancelled anymore, so he can be a figure again. Until he's cancelled. But the pre-order's already on the way, so to hell with all of you. I'm getting my Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and that's just too sweet. 3 alternate heads, all balding, complete with do-rag. It's basically the Storm Collectibles, but with, good articulation, and fun paint jobs, and not, bullshit out of proportion. Fuck you, Storm, that figure's whack. That's a hot take. It's expensive, I know that. I'll gladly use...
like the other Storm wrestlers, then it's in scale.
There's, No, he's the only one. They just made Hulk Hogan's. They made Hollywood, and then they made, 3 different, Hulks. Babyface Hulk in the 80s. And they're all Zangiefy? All their hands pop out when you just touch them? Because they're for display, but I don't just display. He needs to be hard and ready for the fight. Also, Ultimate Edition Fiend, which sells anyway. I don't know. He comes with a Fiend title belt, alternate head with the tongue out. Neat. His jacket will be molded. I couldn't see if it had the little tails in the back, but the basic, WrestleMania basic, don't care about him, so I don't really mention him in this news segment, but the Fiend will be a basic, and he'll have his coat with tails, so yay basic Fiend. But the Ultimate Edition Fiend has the jacket arms, like Bret Hart, has the unique body mold for his weird torso, and the tongue head, is it worth the $35 to me? I don't know, because it's basically me buying the belt and the tongue head. I'm on the fence, but I'll probably get it because I'm weak. Elite 85? Was it 84? Elite 84 with Aleister Black and his giant WrestleMania 36 cloak was a highlight for me. Liv is in that in her heel appearance. And I think it goes on to like 85 is Karrion Kross. They announced 2 of each. So Karrion Kross will be an Elite something or other. And then finally the Boneyard match. The Undertaker, once again, always having figures, every look unique, every look basically the same, will be in Elite form, complete with do-rag, little vest guy, and a shovel to beat that ass. Yay, old man Undertaker! So that's most of Ringside Fest that's fit. Pre-order your shit now, unless it's with Walmart or Target, they can go to hell. But if it's at Ringside, just do the thing. Just pre-order at Ringside, because it takes a lot of stress off the collector's mind. I know. That if I hadn't pre-ordered AEW, I'd just be in tears right now. So, yeah. Big Bad Toy Store don't carry this shit. Where'd Dave go? Dave!
I'm here.
I thought you disappeared. I get the...
Just trying to keep cool, man.
Well, what, did you put the fedora on? What are you doing?
Different cool, though.
Horrible. Scat's never coming back, but we are coming back with the top 5 Black Sheep toy lines. Now I gotta put this in order. I'm looking at my list. There's paper, so it's not... You know I'm not lying. Yeah,
That's what we're going to do.
That's fair.
Since I stated before, I didn't do the homework. You do your top 5, and then afterwards, I'll tell you the one that I had.
You're gonna finish on... Yours better be really cool, because if yours fucking sucks...
Or do you want me to go first?
No. Here's what's up. I'll do 4, you do yours, and then we can discuss my number 1 and part of yours, because it'll be the first time me hearing that, and that'll be robust.
Okay, that should work.
Hooray! Top 5. Number 5. What is it? War Planets. Anybody remember War Planets? Because I do.
War Planets.
See? You don't remember them. Go to hell!
I don't even know what that is.
I'm not... You can't touch my War Planets. War Planets by Trend Masters were individual planets named after different, things that they could do. And they were little, orbs, balls, planets, and you would open them up and they came with, a small handful of population, 4 little guys. And they would usually have a rocket launcher, or an asteroid launcher, or some gimmick inside of the war planet, and then you'd use that to compete against, there was definitely, the red fire planet with the little red battle guys, and they would fight the icy blue planet with the little, glacier balls and shit. And they were always at war. You know why? Because they're war planets. By Trendmasters.
What year was this?
Oh, shit. This is 1997?
I was collecting in 97. I've never heard of any of this.
Trendmasters. Oh, I'm excited to see what you haven't heard of, because they're Black Sheep! Nobody gave them the love. But Billy's giving them the love right now.
List of you making things up.
Do a Google search. War Planets is a real toy. Lots of fun. I remember having lots of fun, because it was you get 4 little population guys, and then you confuse everyone around you. Nobody else had War Planets either, so there it is, because I'd play with the kid next door, and he'd be like, oh, I don't know what that is. Fine, take this little guy and don't lose him, you piece of shit. That's why I don't play with other kids, because they fucking eat everything.
This is just your parents spray painting Super Balls and muscle men and just jamming them inside.
Impossible. The spray paint would just erode the plastic, creating a noxious gas that would kill us all. Let's see. That's War Planets. Number 4 for me. And this is in order of, like, love. So, number 4, yeah, we'll do the Super Mario Brothers, the motion picture toy line.
Oh, dear God.
By Ertl. Complete with Mario, Luigi Mario, the Koopa guy, President Koopa. Oh, and the 2 henchmen whose names I forget. And that's it.
Iggy and something.
Yeah. And they would get down the line. No, back then, because they just look like New York thugs, they would get brutally murdered by my Punisher, like, all the time. I used to do this thing with water-safe, like, washable markers, like red, where you just take the tip of the washable marker and just hit a guy with it, and it looks like impact, like, blat! And those were my squibs as a kid. Oh, Big Boss Man, Hasbro Big Boss Man, Itsy, callback, got fucked up by that marker once. It was great. Because it really, the red on the blue for the cop shirt, it's like, sorry, but it looks great. I like violent movies. That's why I kid, but these toys were rad. They had them in the complete, like, jumpy boot getup. They were made of a soft, bendy plastic, and I wanted the whole line, but I missed, like, Iggy. Yeah, I didn't have Iggy. That's it. I thought they were going to make more. I think they threatened to make the princess and Yoshi, but I have no proof on that. Could have done a playset. I wanted a playset as a kid. I remember that because they had the car.
What would the playset even have been?
The king, the little lair with the shard.
Okay, yeah.
If you remember the Super Mario Brothers movie, which of course everyone does, there's a shard that leads to the other world that's the connective tissue between the two realities. And so in that is like a big cave.
Just like the video game.
Yeah.
God.
And they had like the little fungus car, and like little toy cars back then were the game. The jam, if you will. But fine. No love for the Super Mario Brothers movie toy line. By Ertl. By Ertl. That's how the commercials always, for anything Ertl. Because they make farm toys and shit. Things I didn't usually buy, so, whatever. Number 3 for me, Demolition Man, the toy line. By Mattel! Sure, it's just repurposed.
You talked about Demolition Man with me in the past, and again, it's another toy line I think you're making up.
No. But it is, in fact, Masters of the Universe, like Space, like the last wave that kind of didn't come out. Mattel had all these old parts from that and from Last Action Hero, and they cobbled them together along with like unique heads to create Demolition Man toy line. Because John Spartan's body for that one is just a He-Man body. Well, future He-Man body with a Stallone and a ball cap head. Simon Phoenix, same thing. Final Battle Simon Phoenix. The only thing that's unique and Demolition Man-y about it is the clip-on torso armor and the fact that he has, Simon Phoenix head. Because then the style of body changes for the other John Spartan and the other Simon Phoenix figures, because then they're built more like the Last Action Hero with the same, like, square peg fists to insert guns and rocket launchers and shit. So, yeah. Big, chunky.
The same articulation as the T2 toys.
As in, like, 6?
5 at best.
And they had a Simon Edgar Friendly, complete with Regeneration Chamber Claw. I also would have liked...
He wasn't even in that scene.
No. Well, he's also, like, in a Speedo in that figure. Because he's a Masters of the Universe. He's a cleaned-up Edgar Friendly head on a Masters of the Universe figure body that they didn't have concept art, so he's just like a tech for the Demolition Man project. And he comes with the little cryo cube claw. Yes.
Just flights of fancy. This is just your brain stroking out. These toy lines never happened.
I swear that was Mattel. It was a huge line for them. Made dozens of dollars on these figures. Alright, I'm gonna hit you with some real, true shit. I love this toy line. Love it. Almost collected it again, as a matter of fact, because how hard could it be? The Edgar Rice Burroughs collection by Trendmasters.
You have got to be shitting me.
No, why? What? Nobody remembers the Edgar Rice Burroughs by Trendmasters collection? All right. Let's take you back to 96. 1996, right?
I'm sorry. Please continue.
So do you remember, I'm trying to think. Was it Independence Day? There was a Trendmasters line that was a little more popular, and they had these metallic bases the figures stood on. And they'd flake off, and it was a real pain in the ass. They did Independence Day and Godzilla. And it was like...
Godzilla.
Yeah. And they had these bases, and they'd flake off. So that's the running game. It was a mold of that. Like, it's the same principle, but it had a, like, image of Tarzan on a lion with a spear. And it said Edgar Rice Burroughs on the base. Now, I didn't want Tarzan so much. I was a big mark for the John Carter of Mars collection. They came in 2-packs. They were very affordable because they were kind of cheap. They were about 5 points for articulation. Look, the legs...
Oh my god, I remember these.
Yeah, they had the constant, like, mouth open look. Because they're reused Tarzan figures and stuff. But they definitely made, like, Deja Thoris and the four-armed ant guys and Willem Dafoe and... the crab dudes.
Yes, I actually remember these toys. I didn't collect any of them, but I remember seeing them.
Yeah, they look cheap as fuck, because they are. But they also made like
accessories weren't that bad.
No, I love that toy line.
I think I might still have a sword from one of them.
Mm-hmm. It's very soft, very bendy plastic, and they definitely like cashed in on the mid-90s like mini fad, because they definitely had like mini, like you open the critter's head and inside was a landscape of Mars for John Carter to seduce orange women on. I don't know.
Yes, the Micromax stuff.
But that toy line, I had the deluxe, villain whose name escapes me at this moment. And I saw him at a half-price books and was like, I might do it. I might jump in, because they weren't that expensive from Go. How expensive could they be? Except that I reread parts of John Carter at the store I work, and quickly was like, no. Fuck this guy! But the memories, I'll always have the memories, right here, in my heart. Alright, Dave, what is your number one? And then we can just phenomenally agree on my number one.
The Edgar Rice Burroughs was your number two?
Yes.
Alright. Mine was Z-Boz.
Z-Boz.
Xevos, or OZ.
Wait.
Okay, so, in a third-party company, designed a toy line called Stick Boss. Which
Yes.
were basically ball-jointed stickmen toys. Incredibly customizable.
Yeah, customizable blanks.
Eventually, Hasbro purchased that and started producing the toys themselves, but they also used the design to create a toy line called Z-Boz, which was this immensely imaginative, customizable toy line that had a battle element to it. It had stickers. It was just like, it's the only toy, like vintage toy at this point, that I still want to collect. And it's really hard to come across the parts.
Are they available in any meaningful sense online at this point?
Possibly. Like, I don't really hunt for it just because every time I see the prices on the ones I'm looking for, I get discouraged.
Yeah, I just remember Stickfas from the Toy Fair, like Toy Fair 2000 or whatever. The
Yes.
Toy Fair, the magazine.
Those were really cool.
Yeah, they put them over real strong. And they probably did an article on this offshoot since they were so enamored with Stickfas when they first came out.
Multiple articles. They were showcasing all the new toy lines. That's how I knew what to get excited for.
Toy Fair, spelled the other way. I love it.
I've got,
Fosters.
like, of the sets I do have, I have multiples of each, just because all the characters would come with multiple parts, like multiple different heads or hands, bits and pieces, just to customize the figure into the character you want. So you get more than one to make multiple versions of all these characters. You want a bunch of different cowboys or vampires or space marines, giant bugs.
Bugs! Cowboy vampires.
You could do it.
I've never... Well, there it is. Did they come out on retail shelves?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I used to... The last few I got was when we were working at Toys R Us.
Mother of God. Huh! Well, I guess that is a Black Sheep toy line. Ooh, bringing it together. Give me a little yes. Yes, yes. No, Stupid
right,
keypad. Yours. The only number one. The toy line that was given short shrift. Not enough. Didn't have its fair day in court, if you will. Was given all the opportunities and was shunned by an ungrateful mass.
Let's hear which one you're making up now.
Fuck you, America, for not loving this toy line. And if NECA's listening, which they're not, you should take this property. And thank me later. Send me Wave 1. That's all. It's fine. It's all good. I'm talking... We're back at Mattel again. I'm talking the one, the only, the hot Christmas wish list item for 1997... Starship Troopers by Mattel.
Starship Troopers.
Yes! They had a toy line.
No, I do remember seeing pictures of the Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
In particular, just the Arachnids. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else from it.
I still have the Arachnid toy. I have them all, actually, because there's not many to have. I was the one kid. This was my Christmas, and it was kind of, I guess, easy for my parents / not. They had to, scour KB, which we didn't have a KB, really. So that was, extra bonus work for them to be like, oh, well, they have them at least, so let's grab them. Because they're not available anywhere else. They had Micro Machines once, with the Brain Bug and a few infantrymen, which I had. They had Micro Machines with the Firebug and a few guys, which was also fun. Had it.
Not actual Micro Machine, though.
It was by the same... I think it was when Micro Machine was branching out to have the midsection articulated line. They did the same thing with Star Wars, very briefly, where they made the super sets.
Characters that could sit down, yeah.
Yeah, so they could be in the vehicles, which fucking rule. More on that at a future date. It's like, oh, I love these Star Wars vehicles, but yeah. And then they had an action figure line, complete with a 1/1, arachnid, sick, made sounds, decently articulated, had ball joints at the carapace, or whatever, the torso, so that the little legs could walk around. The jaw was nice and articulated, and the paint job was epic. You had action figures of, Denise Richards, whose name escapes me in the movie.
Yeah, I can't remember her character's name.
It's like, oh god, Ibanez! Carmen!
Yes!
Carmen Ibanez, complete in green flight suit. They all came with a giant, not RPG, not flamethrower, but just a stick weapon, which was strange, and they all came with the standard assault rifle, except it was too long. But they all at least came with that, and I appreciated that uniformity in accessories, because I don't think we get enough of that. G.I. Joe. I like that, if you're standard issue, you should have at least one unifying accessory. That's pretty rad. So, they all had the same, badass rifle, and then you had... What was Jake Busey's name? Is Ace, but I don't remember his last name. You had Ace!
It's been too long since I've seen
Everybody... How dare you? Everybody needs a friend like me! You had Ace with
Tox... Your hand against that wall.
You had Ace in Toxoplasm Blast suit, which was a neon green figure with a, biohazard hood, and a plug-in backpack so that he could squirt anti-bug toxin stuff?
Sure, that was in the movie.
And then you had Ace in the standard Starship Troopers armor, which was sick, and he came with a jetpack. But also the same, rifle. Because they all had, like He-Man, they all had the same arms if they were men. So they had the Death from Above tattoo, rolled up like sleeves, and they had these closed fists because the rifle came with two little pegs that you could insert one peg into each fist, and they could double wield the gun. So hold it appropriately, or if you're feeling funky, hold 2 and be a bad motherfucker. And then the piece de la resistance, the one like really hard to find infantryman, was in fact Johnny Rico.
Well, I mean, he was the main character of the movie, so...
He was hard to find. I got him, Santa had to come and get his ass for me. Love it. They also made a spaceship, Ibanez's ship, like the little, not the proper big spaceship, but the one that Ibanez and guy who gets his brain sucked out, spoilers, land on. They made that, which was pretty cool. Because she fit in it. It was fucking huge. Because these figures were also not quite 5 inches, not quite 6. Just kind of lanky. Very long legs. Long legs, very, tight, flexed arms. I'm being a Starship Troopers figure right now talking about it. But with that, Dave, how long has it been since you've seen the Johnny Rico figure from the Starship Troopers toy line?
Since I've seen the figure?
Yes. Have you ever?
I don't know that I ever have. I think I've only ever seen the arachnid, the warrior bug.
That arachnid kid that arachnid figure fucks. Yes, it does. But do something real quick for everyone at home and myself. Google image search the Johnny Rico action figure from Starship Troopers by Mattel. Just it might have something to do with why the line didn't succeed. His Google makes noises. And I am baffled.
I am typing.
Mother of God.
All right.
Jill.
Show us the name.
I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say, kill them all!
The only good bug's a dead bug. Let's see. All I'm getting are mostly Funko Pops. Oh, wait, there he is. He looks like he would fit in very well with the Aliens line of the same era.
Look at his head! His neck is he has a second neck popping out of the collar.
There's more than one version of Johnny Rico.
What?
I'm looking at it right now.
Is one by NECA?
Mega Marauder Johnny Rico with his weird, pained grimace. And then there's Firestorm Johnny Rico with his squirter backpack. There's elements to this toy line even you don't know about.
Mother of God. Well, the distribution was terrible because it was neck and neck with Mission Impossible. No. I'm saying that the Rico with the helmet, although I think... So wait, no. The other one is just an orange repaint with the Ace, water gun, right?
That looks like it, yeah.
Well, does he also have the helmeted head?
He has an unhelmeted head that you could put a larger helmet over, but he's making the same facial expression, like he's got his thumb caught in the
I have to have this figure. I've never heard of this. It wasn't on the back of the card, you bastards.
I'll send you a link.
God damn it.
You do realize, good lord, it's been almost a year now. Good Smile Company had prototypes for some Starship Trooper toys.
They're not the same?
Like Figmas. So, fully articulated.
Do you see the picture where it looks like his neck is fighting his other neck? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
I mean, if that's the quality you're looking for, then more power to you, sir.
I'm saying that's why the toy line probably didn't take off so well, because he's not only constipated, but he's sculpted to have a neck and a collar, and then it looks like his neck has gone beyond that, and is forcing itself out in between his head and where his neck should be. He has
constipation, that's agony.
Yeah, his head and face are way smaller than Jake Busey's. He is the only one that's just like that, and it's amazing.
His prices are insane.
Oh man, did I stumble into a collector's market?
You might have, because...
Fuck.
Just a quick search on eBay, your regular in-pain Johnny Rico with helmet is $135 from this buyer alone.
God damn. Well, I mean, I still have him, so...
There you go.
In pooping. Can you see his weird long legs? Can you see... That toy line was so fun. I'm bummed I didn't get a Zim, a Neil Patrick Harris, I don't know, a Rat Check, the guy from Walking Dead, the lady that's not in Walking Dead but gets her hand burned off. Could have just used some troops. And more bugs. They had a radio-controlled bug that was pretty cool, but beyond that, they kind of stopped. You could just repaint that same bug a couple of times. I would have been there for it.
Yeah, like the Aliens line did with their aliens. With the Xenomorphs.
What do you mean? What does that mean? I love that toy line, but everybody does.
They would repaint their aliens to make new versions and sell them again.
And that's a top-tier toy line. That Aliens. But so is Starship Troopers in the annals of history. So, my statement remains. That's my number one black sheep. Not given enough love. Shunned. Just because he has two necks fighting each other doesn't mean nothing. So there it is.
Truly he is tortured.
Aren't we all?
Not that much. Seriously, internet, listeners, faithful few.
Torture us.
Google his face.
Piss
Google
on my
his face
little...
and see what it looks like when a man feels pain in his soul.
See the agony. See the Jake Busey. Jake Busey sculpt still holds up, in my opinion. Everybody needs a friend like me. He never had his clear violin. They could have made a Diz, but that's back in like the stinking thinking days of like girl toys don't sell.
Ugh.
Will you find me a Carmen Ibanez figure? Because I have her, but she was equally hard to find. She didn't have a neck joint. She's just a molded head with hair into cleavage, and it was weird. It was one piece.
Levi. Ace Levi.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, what's on the toy?
Huh. Yeah, okay. Alright. I would have liked a brain bug playset with that. Do like a flesh regenerator, Play-Doh kind of thing with some poor fucker. Right in the brain. Just suck his...
That would be neat. That would be exceptionally violent for that toy line era, too.
Consider the source material. It's the 90s. They were making goop and shit all the time. Why not? Make it edible. Dr. Dreadful did worse. The crimes of Dr. Dreadful will never be forgotten. And if he had, more distinct playsets, I would wager that we could do a top 5 Dr. Dreadful. But Dr. Dreadful is more of like a Patreon bonus, YouTube video kind of thing. Where we get, the set and then we eat it anyway. Yeah, let's make some foamy green, gummy entrails, too much sugar.
Search desperately on each packet for an expiration date that we don't find.
I was eating expired Dr. Dreadful before it was cool, back in, the mid-90s. Don't let them lie to you.
Gummy worms, and they just come out runny.
It's just grit. Just nothing but grit. You've made rock candy.
Rock candy isn't supposed to be wet.
Ah, I don't like wet ass rock candy. Well, that's all there is. There is no more. Dave, do you have a suggestion for the top 5? Next week.
Let me sit on that one. I might come up with something.
It's going to be a mystery. And the listeners can also help out. At One Stop Geek Shop Pod on Twitter. I have been Billy. At _swan_man. Also on Twitter.
And I am David. At Ricochet_19 on Twitter.
Be sure to check out our YouTube channel under the same name, One Stop Geek Shop Pod, with all the live unboxing madness you can handle. Like, share, and subscribe, all of that. Download this podcast wherever you downloaded it before, but be a friend and share it. Leave a review. Ooh, extra task. And as we always say, never grow up, never surrender.